All right, we're going to take a look at color value. So we've been looking at value. Value is the darkness to lightness, right? So here we've seen this value scale before. This one is broken up into 5 different levels, 1 being the darkest of the dark, 3 being the mid-tone, and 5 being our highlight. We're going to take a look at these cubes here and the value levels that are within this diagram. So taking a close look, we see that this side of this box is a level 5. Okay. This top area is somewhere in between our 4 and our 5, more like a 4.5. This side of our cube is a 3. Okay. This cube is casting a shadow onto the cube next to it, and that's a level 2. Okay. This one is a level 4. We have a 3 on top and a 2 on the side here with this cast shadow right here. But when it bounces off the side of this next box, it's actually a 1. Okay. So our darkest of the dark. And so you can see kind of this progression right here. Our light source is coming from here. We can tell also because our cast shadows are going this direction. Okay, if we mapped out this value, we would see this cube and its cast shadow, the cast shadow bouncing onto this next cube. Okay, same with this one and another cast shadow. So this is how we would map the value for that. Okay. Looking at color value is when color is being used to show the lightness and darkness. All right, so I'm going to have you choose one color. Okay, let's make sure it's not yellow, though you could do color value with yellow. Let's have you choose one color, and we are going to match the values that are up here in these areas. Obviously, we're going to skip 5 because that is our highlight. Okay, remember to use small circular motions and layer. Use different amounts of pressure so that you can achieve these values and match them up. Your color might not get as dark as the darkest of the dark here. That's all right. So I'm going to hold my pencil. Remember to drop it, pick it up like it is a bug, and I'm going to use the side of my pencil here to start achieving a larger surface area. I'm using those circular motions, really careful as I get close to that edge there. Okay, and I'm moving along here like so. Okay, so I've got a layer here. I'm probably sitting somewhere close to a 2, and I want to bring it all the way to a 1, so I'm going to do another layer on top here. I'm pressing pretty hard. Okay, but I'm making sure that I'm not flattening or smoothing down the tooth of my paper, where my color pencil is not going to pick up any more of the colored graphite that we have here going on. And then I'm going to leave my 5. Okay, so I have my value levels that are matching. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I want you to come down here, and we're going to use our color pencil eventually to do these cubes, but for right now we're going to value map these cubes. So if my light source is coming from here, this is going to be my lightest. Okay, I'm going to get a cast shadow going this way. All right, now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to match the levels. So here is a 5, so this is a 5, I don't do anything. Here is a 4.5, okay, I'm going to go in between here, so super light on my paper, barely touching it. Okay, let's see if Ms. Stoker can achieve this incredibly light layer that is not as dark as the number 4. Okay, I think I'm nailing it. Awesome. Okay, I got that guy on there. Now I'm doing a 3. That's this one right here. Okay, so this is my mid-tone. I'm going to use a medium amount of pressure on my paper. Okay, I'm going to fill that in. Okay, squinting, making sure I'm matching this guy and this guy. Okay, get that guy on there. Awesome. Ooh, I went out of the lines. I'm gonna have to fix that. Grab my eraser here. Really carefully erase. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to work on this next cube. I see that this top part is a 3. 3, 3. Okay, so we've got a 3 up here. We have a 4, 2, and a 2. So I'm going to start with my 3. I'm going to come over here, work at the side of my pencil. Okay. Then I'm going to take a look, and I have a 4 right in here, so I need to do this level right around here. Get that guy in there like so. Okay. Then I see that this side is a 2, so I'm going to go here. Okay, so I'm going to put a layer down, bring it up to a 3, and then I'm going to add another layer on top of that to bring it to a 2. Okay. Now I also have a 2 here. Okay, this is all a 2. Okay, so I have a 2, and then I'm also noticing that this kind of fades right there. All right, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start adding in this 2. Okay. All right, now this box is done. All right, that's looking pretty great. Okay, now moving on to this box, I've got a 1, 2, 1 on this side, and a 1.5. Okay, so maybe I start with my 2 just right here. So I'm going to make it as dark as this. So coming over here, I'm going to take this section here, and I'm going to make it pretty dark. Okay, get that in there. Okay, and then I remember that this is a 1, so I'm going to make this layer. I'm going to use nice and controlled. I'm going to fill this guy in. Okay, not going to lose this space here, and I'm going to make this darker right on top. So I'm going to adjust my hand on my pencil. Got this shape here. Fill this in, making sure I don't smooth down the tooth of my paper. And bringing this all the way to a 1. Okay. All right. And then this side over here is a 1. Get that in there. Okay, this whole shadow is also a 1, so I'm going to keep that. All a 1 over here. And then this top of my box, this is just slightly lighter. It's a 1.5. It's right in between these two. So I'm going to come over here. Just going to make this slightly lighter, make this slightly darker, make this one a bit darker. Okay, so that my boxes work. Now, I probably should clean up this little mess, this kerfuzzle that I did here. Okay, worked a little bit. Okay, so that's how you value map. And that is also how you do color value.